What up, traders? What up, investors? Ken here from the Dyslexic Investor, and thank you for joining another fantastic live market stream. Basically, what I'm just going to call it snacks and stocks. I have my delicious banana nut chocolate chip muffin here with me right now. Eating, kind of nibbling on that. I didn't want to bring popcorn or something crunchy to hear everything in the background, so that being said, just to be mindful, if I do pause for a little bit, I'm probably taking a water, or I'm just eating my delicious my muffin there. I see Alpaca has already joined. Thank you, my friend. We're just talking about going live of getting out of Southwest Airlines and moving into Apple. That's a pretty difference of stocks, and again the direction of that stock as well. Okay. So we got quite a few things on the agenda today. We do have a smorgasbord of earnings. We have Beyond Meat, Activision Blizzard. We have Walt Disney Company, Twilio, Nikola, WYND, Paycom, Upwork. So we have a lot of different various companies in different sections. And then we have some markets coming out tomorrow before the open. We have Moderna, CVS, Wayfair, and Regeneron. I think there's like Wendy's was on there as well. So a lot of stocks, again, nothing as volatile as what we saw last week, but we did see some stuff going well so far, so well. Brort, yeah. Hello, how are you? I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, my friend? I think love is a great thing, still a packer for a long term, but again, for the trading that I do, you can put that in your long-term investment portfolio, but if you have that same love position sitting in your trading portfolio, for my case, the way my brain works, if I see that long-term position sitting next to my very aggressive shorter-term swing trade ideas, it just drills a hole into me, and I'm just like, oh, it's just wasting money. Let me just sell it and just roll it into something else. So that's the way I think. I'm not saying everyone thinks like that, but that's just the way I think of things and how my brain kind of breaks down that process of that. Did everyone bring a snack? Alpaca, what did you bring? Did you bring a snack? NIO, please. Yes, we can look at NIO as well. Again, we're going to be going through some of, again, those earnings play coming out. I have a nice little command doc going from there. You only seem to like upward. Well, it's hard to short right now, Alpaca. So I don't know if you were here around. So I consider myself a closet bear. So I like to short when I smell blood in the air. I don't smell any blood in the air, if that makes any sense. All right, so go ahead and looking at some charts here. My man Main is looking for NIO. So we'll take a looky-loo at NIO. So we bought, I think, like 200 shares of this on this dip here. It held the 21 very well. It kind of boosted up. We kind of do a quick fib here. I think I sold it at the 50% retracement. Majority of the shares at $13.50, I believe. We'll see on how that's going forth. That trade is still somewhat intact. It is down. It looks like that candle looks larger than it really should be, but it's only down nearly 1.5%. We really need to see it above that 14.21 price level. If you want to see this trend continue, you really need to stay above that 20 or that 50% tile move. But again, this trend can easily wobble to and fro around and come back down to the 21 here as well. That can be basically around $12. That trend is still somewhat intact. Again, this is a very volatile stock. A lot of people love it. A lot of people hate it, just like a Nikola. But this chart looks much better than a Nikola chart because it's above the 21. It's not hovering around the 200-day like a Nikola chart. And a lot of the moving averages are very nicely stacked. To really see this really start breaking out, we need to start getting above that 15.23 price target there. Again, that's the 78.6 percentile move there on the Fibonacci retracements. Again, try to test those previous highs. Again, we do have earnings on the horizon. Looks like next week, so be very mindful that we could be trading sideways to see how that plays out in the next coming days. Alpaca, you want to look? Okay, we'll switch right to NIO to Workhorse. So this is kind of the similar pattern, as you can see. It's been holding the 21. We talked about this. It had a huge run up. It had needed to take a break. It needed to consolidate, and now it's just kind of just trading sideways and just trying to rebuild momentum, regain its strength. Potentially, again, we talk about eating the granola bar, eating what I'm eating for my snack is a delicious banana nut muffin, drinking some water, maybe some Gatorade to rehydrate to get that next move higher. The difference with this one is the parabolic SAR has already switched to the bottom of it, so we could see that potentially moving higher again. We're still holding that 21 EMA, which is great. We have a squeeze indicating here, and we're looking for that potential trend to hold. The only thing is that when the trend breaks is basically when it starts breaking below the 21, it's around 15.44 to basically under $15. Basically, if it's breaking under $14, really that's going to be flush a lot of folks out there. Is that Upwork? UPWK. So that has earnings as well after the close, right? So Upwork is, again, somewhat similar. I'm not too familiar with the fundamentals of Upwork. They're like a temp agency, right? Am I right? Let's see how that plays out. With Upwork, this was not a really great performing pre-pandemic, but since everything has basically reset and things have changed drastically, it has made a nice little comeback. It's trading above the 200-day. Really strong numbers here, even though it lost money on this earnings right here. It still popped up higher again, probably due to guidance. Kind of came back down, held the 21 very well, looking like it wants to continue to go higher. What we can do here is it hasn't hit its all-time high on the yearly chart here, or the last year so it's like 1775. I don't know, 50 cents away where we're currently trading. But we can do fib here from previous swing high to previous swing high to previous swing low. Again, key level is trying to break is that 1775 level to kind of get above that 100 percentile move. Again, for the next on-site target of $21.19. That would be a very aggressive target again. With this has earnings after the close as well. The thing is, this is probably not the most liquid-ish of options. Actually, it's actually pretty liquid, actually. I take that back. But we're playing out in August 21st. It's only the 5th or the 4th right now of August. So you're going to be playing some. There's a lot of options here coming in around, again, the $17 and $20 price target here for Upwork. That being said, we could see some potential movement. The movement from now until the 21st of August is $3. This is $3.80, so just call it $4. So $4 where we're currently at is basically can give you easily. Now, easily is the wrong word. It could potentially, probability with the statistics on our side, get us up to that 21.20 price target that we initially see here in the short term. To the downside, you're really going to see a lot of support here, basically around the 13 to 12.95 level here. Initial downside support basically around the 21, but this thing has aggressively moving up and down, pretty swaying left and right quite a bit, or swaying up and down. But that being said, we're up nearly 3% today. I had a huge update just yesterday, so this is going to be a little bit one that it's going to be difficult to hold into earnings if you're not already in it, if you're taking some profit. Just be very careful and be mindful of that particular trade. On the weekly side, I think this is a newer IPO. Okay, this is interesting. I like this better. I don't know if you're long stock or options, but this is interesting here on the weekly side there, my friend. We're looking at the 618. We just hit that target there. We're on $17.41. If that can break, we've seen that issue hold, or that line basically give us some headwinds before from its previous high up here, basically all the way in last year's of August. That high kind of hit up there and really failed hard. Not saying if we can get that momentum going, we can really break above that to, again, that $20 to $21 $20.75 to $21 target. It's a very attractive looking target for sure. You're in stock, okay, even better. So you're going to be able to play it a little bit better, and there's not going to be very much time sensitive to it. So if you literally bought this August calls, you're really not giving yourself a lot of time. But yeah, that's a good call. I actually like this look in this stock here. It's kind of good looking back on the daily side. This is a good looking stock. I'm not in it, but this one would be an interesting one to play long term if you have been playing it for some time. That being said, that's a really good play. So it's like a Fiverr play? Okay. I see what it is now. A couple of the things that I wanted to look at was for tomorrow. We have Wayfair in the morning. So that's going to be quite interesting there. We'll see how that plays out. Wayfair, of course, has been just a skyrocket ship. Just honestly annihilating their competition. I wanted to look on the options market to see how those trade over there. Looks like here I'm going to swing over Tastyworks. This is what I use for options to look at, so we can kind of start diving through what we could potentially be looking at for some movement. The movement's $35 just this week. Holy moly, guacamole. You know I love to sell my puts. I might just do like an iron condor. Let me just, I need to think about that one before I make a call on that one. Let's see, a couple more questions coming in, guys. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already, my friends. Moderna call for this week. That's going to be a tough one because they're really, I don't know much about the vaccine stuff. Looking on the chart directly, I need to be very sensitive to that. The sensitivity to the 21 EMA and the 34, it's again on the chart. It's holding the trend here. It's having some issues between the 58 and 51 range, kind of just trading sideways. Again, next on-site target is going to be $87 if it can continue going higher. That being said, we'll see how that plays out. With the earnings, again, coming out, it's Wednesday morning. So Wednesday, so basically you have to put in your options trading tonight, or if you want to buy stock in the AM mornings, be super mindful of that as well. You won't be able to trade options between only the 9:30 and 4 o'clock a lot of times via the market. With this one, I think it's going to be a coin flip. I know a lot of people who are just literally just copying what the talking heads are talking about on the news or CNBC or whatever, that Moderna executives are just selling the stock and just pumping it up. I don't know without a factual doubt if they're doing that. It doesn't look the greatest when they're selling their stock when it hits all-time highs, even though if it was already worked out months ago or weeks ago. So I don't know. To whatever sake there, the stock basically kind of tells the story itself. It's had multiple upswings, crazy movement here, looking for potential, just trading sideways again with complete earnings and disclosing that it's looking like it's just gonna trade sideways. With that movement in the stock, it looks like it has weeklies. So $7 basically for this week, up or down. So $7 could take it up maybe to this level here, to the previous high here. But I kind of want to redo these lines because we're going to do this previous swing high, this previous swing low. So yeah, it's still holding the 21. Did close slightly above it, which again, it's not we're not going to go strictly to the complete science. It's more of an art form. And then that's kind of just trading sideways here, looking for that potential 50% retracement here, which we've seen somewhat support there, really not being able to get above it, but really need to seeing it above the 84.26 level to really see it start climbing higher from there. To the downside, we're really looking at the 50-day, so around $67 for the downside, which we previously was the previous low just about a week and a half ago. Got it at 14, so I'm a good buffer room. Okay, that's great, man. You got it work. That's awesome. Diz, yes, we can look at some Disney. So they report after the bell. So this one, full disclosure, my friend, I am a long-term investor in this. We sell some puts on this every month, basically. So the previous swing high to low, the chart basically tells a story here. The 200 EMA has been a enormous amount of overhead pressure here, basically guiding of just like not allowing the stock to get really a close above 120. You can see this, we kind of get above 120 here just for literally a couple days, but then it really just took us back underneath the water here, and now just kind of trading sideways, just kind of waiting to get above that 120. Again, my opinion is that it could break above 120, potentially to 125 in the intermediate term. With earnings, I'm not sure what can happen. Anything is a coin flip. To the downside, we're basically the options market saying a $6 plus or minus move. So $6 plus or minus where we're currently at is basically puts us around the 110 level, and then plus or minus $6 where we're currently at would put us about the 122, 123 level. That being said, be super mindful. Again, earnings, complete coin flip, depending on how what the CEO says, the board stat, or the other executives, and then how the analysts react, and and people thought if it's inflated or the value's not warranted, and if I doubt they're going to give guidance, but to see if there's any growth with a lot of their parks starting to come back online, and ESPN starting to actually start streaming more sports, and especially the NBA. If not, people don't know, they're actually in the Grand Floridian Resort on Disney World property, and they're basically in that bubble mode. So that for some time. Yeah, I love Disney long term. So that's again, it's my honest opinion, but my cost basis is well below, probably I think it's like 75 or below 75, 65 to $75 is my cost basis for Disney. So this has been a long-term hold. It's going to be definitely going into my daughter's fund. So just a long-term hold for that. Yeah, just to be super mindful that that's where I stand on that, and it's long-term. Exactly. Alpaca has said it very well. Thoughts on FIZZ? It's recently sold off, but I'm currently at a decent support right now. All right, let's take a looky-loo. Ooh, that's a ooh. What happened there? That's not a. Yeah, that's a pretty big drop. What's the drop on that? Of course, that doesn't autofill. We're looking at almost a 15% decline from the top to where we're currently at. So I normally don't like to catch falling knives like this. That being said, we can kind of see when I read your thing, you're saying like decent support level. For me, for decent support level, it needs to level off for a couple more days. Since this is somewhat fresh news, yes, today it's not down as drastically as it was the previous 2 days. But the moving averages have just crossed to the 21, so the wounds are still there. We could potentially see some further downside. Let me do. Let me see what I can help you out here if you're in this. Previous swing high to the low to the high again. So this is pretty interesting here. So we're looking at the $60 price range, or the $59.46 to be precise, could be a potential support level, and we hit that pretty close here. Let me see what it says in the low of the bar. If we beat it. So the low tick only goes 1 decimal point, so it's 0.4, but it's 0.46 that the low was in place here on the Fibonacci retracement. So initially, this could be the first level of support. So for me to get a little better confirmation, I would like to see this trade sideways here for a little bit, or it can try to start making a recovery. My only fear is that it could go down further to around the 57 to 56 range here. That being said, this could hold. That is a pretty strong level, statistically speaking. But for me, I needed some more other gauges to start seeing the moving averages and this bleeding kind of stop. That's basically, imagine you're a ship or a paddle boat and a cannon just shot through you. Yeah, you put duct tape and boards on it, but you're not out of the woods yet, lack of a better words, and you're just kind of recovering here a little bit. And I don't like to be the first person to be able to jump out and potentially try to catch the falling knife. Leo, I believe Beyond Me should be going up crazy after hours, like 180. So full disclosure as well, I also we own a lot of Beyond Meat as well. We bought. We started the position basically just a couple weeks ago. It's going to be a longer term hold for us. We bought in on that huge dip down here, basically around the 126, 125 level. Recovered nicely, but then kind of failed here. Now it's kind of slowly was trending lower. looking to potentially add more around the 115 level. But now we're seeing that potential really wrapping up higher. We got the RSI and volume zone oscillator really printing to higher levels here. We see the 5 and 8 really cross through the 21, which is a very bullish sign as well. We're kind of hitting that support level on those parabolic SAR dots here. So if we can break above that 142, 141 level, that would be pretty significant. Again, this has earnings after the bell. So earnings after the bell, what are they saying? They're saying a $20 move by Friday. So that's, again, to 180. That's going to be a little bit of a stretch for me, my friend. That's basically the previous high on the weekly chart here, on the daily chart here. Let me just do a quick fib here for you. 1 second. Oh, like the price range that I'll be more or less looking at is if it could really do very well and they're really just beating the Tyson's Foods and the other meat products, would be looking around the 165 level. That is a very bullish consensus, I think, from my behalf. That being said, earnings is a coin flip, so we can see how that potentially plays out. But be super mindful that could be it could be a flippy floppy. Who knows? We don't know what happens with earnings. That's why it's a huge moment in time, and everyone just sits on their hands, biting their nails, and we see how that plays out. But support, really looking for that support on the Beyond Meat, is basically around 115.25, basically where the 200 EMA is currently at. Again, we're looking at 141, and they're only saying a $20 move, so we could even hit support around the previous 1618, which is basically where the 21, so it's around 130. That might be another buying opportunity, but I'm normally not very aggressive right after earnings, so start buying. But just be mindful, again, anything can happen. It's hard for me to swing for the fences saying it's going to hit 180 tonight. In the long term, I think it could hit 180 without a doubt. That's my bet on longer term. Not going to happen tonight for me. Because I can tell what they are thinking for the 180 play by the close of this Friday. I can tell you what the options market is saying is the proper bet, or the probability of it being in the money is what you said. The 180 strike price is 10%. So it's around 10% the probability of that call being in the money by Friday. So that's basically a 10% bet that this is going to hit 180. If you get that 10% right, that's going to be a boatload of money, and you'll probably be on Wall Street Bets. So pick your poison, right? Citrus Logic. Yeah, we can take a looky-loo at that one. Before I forget, I want to show you guys, I built this command center here. Basically, for all the markets that are going to be watching after the bell today. Again, we're going to have NKLA, Activision, Blizzard, Beyond Meat, BYND, Disney, and Twilio, and then we can kind of flip-flop some other ones once the other ones report, and we kind of see how they react to the overall initial report going live, and all the algorithms will be trading from that. CRUS. This is interesting. Let me do a fib here from the previous high to low. It looking, yeah, I was going to say it's going to fail out on the 50 or 618. So it's having a lot of issues basically trying to close above that $74, $75 price target here, my friend. Even though it had looks like a super strong earnings, it just kind of hit that price target and just bounced right off of it, basically down 7.2% today. Pretty substantial downtick, even though I'm not. This sounds so familiar, this company. I just don't know what they do, though. Really looking some strong support basically here around the 200 EMA, which are around $66 to the downside. Initial short-term support is going to be around $70 here, so we can kind of get bounced off that 74, 75 level, come back down to the 70 level, potentially start building a base here, get that momentum going, and maybe try to break above that 75. But if that 75 or $70 can't hold, we're looking down around 64, 65 to the downside on that particular ticker. So that is my analysis on that. Activision Blizzard, hold or sell my calls today. So if I don't like to hold straight calls, and depending on how short term they are, into earnings, because again, they can be completely crushed and make you cry. That being said, we can look at Leo. We just did Beyond Meat, my friend. Did you go away? Looking for that 618 here, really has some strong support here. Very similar to a lot of patterns that we're looking at. This is a very strong pattern within Activision Blizzard. Looking for that movement, continue to hit $90 is the next overhead pressure there, or the ceiling of resistance. That being said, that doesn't mean that's going to have to hit that. It is that's just some guidelines. That's nothing set in stone. That's going to be the price target that we're going to be looking at, or vice versa. Really looking for that to potentially give us some guidance. Not going to be something that's completely proven. Oh, you have the 821 calls for 90. Yeah, it looks like you're really betting to the further upside. If you have 2 or 3 calls, what I would do, my opinion, is I would take a little bit off the table and just maybe take a little bit of profit there, because I don't want to be the person to lose money. I like to take a little bit of profit again. Let's say if you have 2 calls and you're up 50% or whatever, just take one off and let one run if you feel comfortable with that, just depending on what your trading strategy or your plan was when you went into the trade. Because again, earnings can be a complete coin flip. Doesn't matter that Take-Two and EA did fairly well. Activision can come out with some negative news and just say, yeah, we found out that Overwatch is no longer played, and for some reason everyone just canceled their WoW subscription, and we got to close the doors. Who knows what they can say? It can be completely go the other direction. It's so difficult to price out earnings, because it literally just throws a curveball into a lot of different scenarios there. All right, let me do a couple things. Yeah, if you're scared of volatility drop, my friend, take some profit. It sounds like you already had your mind set up to take some off the table, or take it off the table completely, and you just look like you just wanted to confirm on what your thoughts were. So that's perfectly fine. It's a smart thing. It's rather just take the what do they say, the bird in the hand than 2 in the bush, or whatever the hell they say. I wanted to look at CVS. I know this is a boomer stock if Ryan's on, but this looks like it's pretty interesting trade here. So I'm just gonna be. This is coming out tomorrow morning, so we'll see how that looks. And that's terrible. Maybe 60. What's the move for CVS? Is $2. I think I can collect something on that. Let me do it here on the shorter time frame though. Let's see here, 23. That's gonna be. Let me see if we can get it for 25. Get a little bit of moolah there. Actually, I want to make these round numbers. I always like to trade round numbers just to be on the complete safe side, just in case I need to roll them. See if I get on that. What else is coming out tomorrow morning? Yeah, if you're feeling anxious or anything, definitely just take it off the table, my friend. That's always a good call to be mindful of that. And exactly. Wayfair actually reports earnings tomorrow morning, so they release their earnings report. I don't know when their conference call is. So Fiverr comes out as well too, right? Are you guys any of those stocks? Are you guys in anyone in Wayfair? Because Wayfair looks super interesting though. I'm trying to see here on the options chain if there's anything that tickles my belly. Chegg has been floshing around left and right here. Let's see here. They don't want to fill me at that, eh? So Wayfair is one that looks like it really is poised to potentially print higher. The only concern is this move was already intact pre-earnings with Wayfair. So is there still room to run? I don't know. For me, it's going to be very difficult to see how this plays out. Because again, the next price target is super far up there, basically at $417. We can do kind of a previous high to low here, but this is not going to do anything too great for us. Potentially, again, yeah, so 348 is somewhat of a decent price target, but we're looking at the 423 price target there, so that's going to be another substantially higher. Leo, okay, you're welcome. Okay, great, thank you. I just wanted to make sure you saw that. I don't want to constantly repeat, so if other folks are just paying attention. Okay, great, thank you, my friend. Please don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, my friend. So it's looking like it wants to knock on the door around 300. That's a nice round number. People like 300. It's a great movie. That being said, this is going to be a difficult one. It's so hard since the stock has run up so much into earnings to see how that plays out. Yeah, Fiverr is tomorrow morning. That's correct, my friend. Yeah, the COD and of course Candy Crush is doing fantastic, right? Everyone loves that Candy Crush. I see those ads everywhere. German, we can take a look at MU in 1 second. Just finishing up some Wayfair stuff. Trying to get a trade on in this sucker. I don't know how if we're gonna get it. I don't know if those punks over in the options market is gonna allow me to get what I want. Playing a little bit with some fire here, but we'll see how that plays out. I don't think I'm gonna get filled on that fill. Let's see here. Just checking some core positions here on my other screen, because again, this is active market hour, so I have to be active on my side as well. Yeah, let's look at Fiverr, then we'll look at MU. So I'm familiar with Fiverr, but I'm not. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, we looked at this before. Just really off to the races. It's super hard for me to kind of trend trade this. Basically kind of play this out to feel, again, it's been holding the 21. If you're long term in it, round of applause to you. This is going to be a difficult one. Potentially just be selling some puts around the 21 or the 34. It's going to be hard to kind of cap this off because, again, it has just run up so much. And then MU for Germany. So we're currently in MU, Germany, just to be full disclosure here. We're really betting on it to kind of hold around the $50 price target and potentially print above that $53. We are going to be getting out of it or trimming it if it starts breaking below 48 and 47.50, if it starts heading to those levels. We have been in a super long squeeze. RSI and volume oscillator are looking fairly strong. I'm going to show you a little sneak preview on this chart here. The trend has slightly kind of been going sideways here, but it's still on a slightly upward projectile. So that's what we're looking at here to kind of start playing some longer term options in this one, kind of like similar on what we did with AMD. One second, I'm getting don't forget, we got Nikola after the earnings. So again, a lot of people have just joined. We're looking again. We have some core earnings at Nikola, Activision, Beyond Meat, WYND, Disney, and Twilio. Basically all after hours today, after the bell here. So there's going to be a lot of movement, a lot of stuff going on here. So we'll see on how that all plays out. Let me see if I get that. Looks like I just got. Oh, what it just filled me. Phil, what'd you fill me? Okay, looks like things are pretty nominal in a lot of things. So we're looking at, this is the command center where we'll be looking through here into earnings and so forth. Jeremy, you're very welcome. Please again hit that like button or subscribe. Tell a friend if you're interested if you enjoy the content. What did everyone bring for snacks? I actually ate 2 muffins while I've been talking the whole flipping time. I'm a big boy. Not in the AM. Did you hack? Did you get leaked? What the heck is filling me? Holy moly guacamole. Anyways, not in the AM, bro. He's saying Nikola's earnings revenue is 0, cars sold 0, loss 0, gain 0, profit 0, cars delivered 0, cars produced 0. Well, your revenue is going to be negative because your revenue, your cash balance is going to be cash. What does they call it? Your cash on hand is going to be high if they have any cash. This money they use from the raising of the IPO, and of course, again, how they allocate that money to that ceremony they had and different various things. So we'll see how that plays out with Nikola, without a doubt. Yeah, we got about 25 minutes until the close, so we still got a lot of movement going on. Again, guys, thank you so much for joining again. If you're having a great time, please put a thumbs up in the chat here. Greatly appreciate it. And if you have any tickers, you can throw them in the chat as well, so we start looking at that as well. DMC8282, what's up, my friend? I'm in at Microsoft at $212 today. I remembered you putting in puts and calls for MU. Show us how? What? Remember you putting in puts and calls for MU. Yeah, so I traded it just slightly, collecting some premium, but we have some longer dated calls going forth. Let's go back to the main chart. So we want to look at Microsoft. So Microsoft, of course, has been in the news because they're going to buy TikTok for like $55 billion or whatever it is going to be. That being said, we can kind of see that's going to be kind of a crazy. I don't know how that's going to play out. I'm not a TikTok user. I have no idea. I know what it is. It's like a Vine, but people like it better now. I don't know. That being said, we'll see how this plays out with Microsoft. But again, Microsoft hitting an all-time high just the previous day and now kind of just trading sideways. We do like this gap up motion, basically indicating that we're looking for some trading sideways, potentially, and kind of waiting for these moving averages to kind of catch up. Again, I think all this overall move has just been on the tails of that TikTok deal and the drama and the amount of volume on that. So look on this volume up here. Not saying it's a Kodak moment, get it? But it's something that could tail in sense of like people just kind of forget about it after a week. Once if something's not, if they're not tweeting about it, if they're not talking about it, if it's not in the headline news, people are like, why did I buy Microsoft again? Okay, whatever. Let me go back to Tesla, or let me buy some Ford or some GE or whatever. The different mindset of just these ADHD traders that just kind of forget why they bought into something sometimes. Again, I fall in that trap quite a bit, so not pointing fingers, so... But with Microsoft, this thing has been a super strong candidate, even though I don't know how it fits in their core business, and I don't know if you guys watched my previous video about this as well. So they used to have a streaming service that was familiar to Twitch, but now they told people to switch from Twitch to Facebook, and of course, Microsoft bought in about $210 million into Facebook in 2007 as an investment. So that's a pretty popular. A lot of companies do that. They buy into some of the competition. They have worked very closely together, the Facebook and Microsoft, but we'll see how that plays out. Really looking for that 216 price target to break, potentially just trading sideways between the 212 here. It can come down to 209, even come down to the 206 level. That trend will still be intact, but really looking for it to hold around the 210 to 212 and kind of trade sideways to see on how it plays out with the overall folks on how they're thinking, again, with the trading and if there's any news coming out and so forth. Chris, what's up, my friend? I'm up 6K in 3 days. That's my man. Good job. Apple, Nvidia, and Square. Nice. Oops, I didn't want it to hit. There we go. Should view that. Any thoughts on Nokia? WWE had a nice run up in the past $5, owning a bunch on Friday, September calls on the money calls. NOQ, are you the one who posted that in the Discord? So this one we talked about, it could easily run up, but it's having some, on the long-term side, it has a lot of that downtrend pressure. I'm not sure how much of a candidate this is on the 5G movement. I think it's still relative to that. But what I pointed out on the Discord was basically the 200 EMA has been a support or overhead pressure here. You kind of see it failed here, broke out here, of course, failed here. So out of the 4 times, 3 times out of the 4, so 75% of the time, it has failed when it hit that 200 EMA there. So I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but it's something to be mindful of. We are seeing some other key indicators that it could be going higher. We do see a lot of volume coming in. RSI and volumes on oscillator are both very positive. But we've already seen a pretty large gap up move in this, so we could be potentially just trending sideways around the $5 and potentially getting that momentum higher to kind of break above that 550 and potentially to 6. So that being said, be super mindful of that. We do have a lot of support here around the $4.25 level if it does decide to come down regarding of that. Again, guys, if you guys are having a great time, if you've brought a snack, slam that like button. I do greatly appreciate it. You do see the stream alerts kind of going in the chat there, again, to kind of remind people to do so. And also a reminder of that we just got the YouTube membership tab down below on the join button if you're interested on considering joining the Dyslexic Investor Club. We do some live stream stuff, things like that will be going forth, and just kind of giving some folks an extra hand in understanding the technical side of trading and just having a great time with folks. SQ going down today at least 10% after hours. Okay, that's a hell of a call. Dow is saying Intel and Workhorse. So we did Workhorse in the beginning of the stream. We can do Intel. Intel, like we talked about on the previous live stream on Sunday, is that we wanted to see it hold potentially around the $50 price target. If it couldn't hold there, we're going to be looking to around 45. So as of right now and as of today, looking like it wants to consider holding around the $49 price target, $49 to $50. We are seeing the 5 and 8 moving average starting to cross over, stop that bleeding, and potentially kind of slow down the overall sinking ship, as we call Intel here. Again, kind of somewhat consolidating here, looking for that pattern to stop. RSI is kind of trying to bounce here as well, same with the volume zone oscillator, and kind of looking for that momentum to kind of start shimmying down and not going down to such extremes here on really just selling off. Let me just check my overall positions before we have the market close. Nikola's up $38.99. Holy moly. What else we got going? Disney slightly higher at $1.50, so let's go ahead to the command center. Sound effect. We got Beyond Meat up. Beyond Meat had a pretty enormous move just the last hour or so. Again, all these charts are on 30-minute time frames. If I go anything lower than 30 minutes, my head gets blown up. like a watermelon with rubber bands around it because it's just too much movement and my eyes just can't track it. So we got NKLA, Activision, Beyond Meat, WYND, Disney, and Twilio. Twilio just kind of steady Eddie. Disney kind of had a large movement out of the gates, and now just trading sideways into the close. WYND, nothing to really report there. Beyond Meat is looking fairly strong into the close. Activision Blizzard's trying to make a push here to try to break out here to kind of get those parabolic SARs to switch, trying to make a nice positive day as well. And of course, NKLA up 6.82% for no apparent reason. So we'll see how that plays out. Yeah, Apple gained a ridiculous amount of market cap. Yeah, your public enemy number one is 200 EMA. Monster's my snack. Ken, does your boss know that you're alive? Oh, JK. My boss doesn't care. I'm my own boss. Playing the playing earnings. Yes. Tam says Paycom. Yes. Is that Paycom or Paychecks? What is that? It's my lunch break. Let's see here. So this is, again, a really small tide into the overall small business, right? So this is going to be pretty much regarding on, I think majority of their businesses or the people who use this are small to medium businesses, am I correct? So the previous swing high to low really had some trying to really get above that 342 price target. Now it's just kind of just failed here. Kind of broke down to 303. It's below the 21. The 5 and 8 have crossed through the 21. Potentially looking for some support here around 273. I kind of like the support around the 200 EMA here. Again, earnings really has to be a good positive movement. What is the earnings on this one? This doesn't have weekly options, so they're saying $30 by the 21st of August. So it's going to be quite of a drastic move. This is going to be a difficult one to play, my friend. But that being said, we can see how this could potentially play out. Let me just take a drink of water. So we got the 5 and 8 kind of continue going down. Really looking for some support here around the 275 to 273 range. Again, with earnings, complete coin flip. Be mindful that really can go either direction. So super mindful of that, my friend. DM8282, where do you live? Where do you ran at 5 in the morning? That hurricane kind of hit us this morning. I live in Virginia, but it's literally just stopped raining about an hour ago. It was raining for about I think 12 hours straight. Everything's just soaked. Alrighty, let's see what else we could be looking at. I'm looking at my core positions here real fast. SQ is looking good. Who is talking about SQ? We can look at SQ. SQ actually we're going to do another earnings live stream tomorrow for SQ for sure. SQ, ROKU, and all those other folks there. Let me see. Let's see, everyone doing... Chris wants to look at Beyond Meat. Did we look at Beyond Meat? BY. So Beyond, the reason I love to talk about Beyond Meat is just because I think it's kind of somewhat of the future. That is could take us to much... again, I don't think I have anything sold in this. Let me double check before I say something. Yeah, I couldn't get in the options that I wanted. That sucks. Huh. Yeah, let's see here. Sold the 120 and bought the 18. Alright. I just sold the 120 and I bought the 115 for support. For just this week's options. Wait, I did. Damn it, I did the wrong one. See, I can't live stream and trade. So with Beyond Meat, I have a super long-term position in this. We bought in, again, we're starting a core position here. We bought in on this dip here around 125, 126. Bought in, kind of had a nice lift higher, then kind of came back down, traded sideways. Some people call it trending lower. We actually were looking for it to hit 115 to be able to add in another chunk of money. Never really got to that level. Now it's kind of ripping higher. We have the 5 and 8 crossing through the 21 and potentially hitting those parabolic SAR dots here. We really need to see it above the 145 price range up to 153 if we really want to be a strong candidate. But with the somewhat of the, again, I'm always skeptical to see these large moves into earnings. It sometimes honestly scares me and kind of gets me shaken out. So, let's see here. Let me do something. So with Beyond Meat, it's going to be, since it's a longer term trade for me, I'm playing earnings, but so what I'm playing by earnings, I'm literally just selling the 120 put here. That's expiring this Friday, and then I bought the 115 for protection. So let me check something really fast because I have to log into another account. Because I wanted to double check that I didn't have a automatic buy order down here for this longer term account for around 115 to add that in there. All right. Yeah, it looks like, okay, I don't have it in there. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I was just double checking because, again, got 8 minutes left of the close. I thought I had another order to buy 10 shares here at this price. I did not. Okay, just wanted to double check. I might want to put that on. The one I'm trying to get something working here is for W tomorrow. So tomorrow morning, Wayfair has her earnings coming out. So this one, looking for potentially selling some puts around here, potentially selling some calls up here, a super wide iron condor potentially, because this one is a complete coin flip as well. This thing has just been running up substantially, and it just been a huge outperformer of the overall market and just really just leaving things in the dust. That being said, ever since the overall pandemic has happened, everything has kind of been reset. The normal is no longer the normal, and this is like the new normal to buy all your things online. And if you ever try to buy furniture from Amazon, it's okay, but it's not as pretty as of UI as something like Wayfair has, and they have kind of that advantage on that. W is big money. What do you mean by big money? Like it's gonna make you big money? DMC 8282. Are you 82 years old or were you born in 82? What's the 82 stand for? Or is that your heart rate while you're trading stocks, 82? Keep it interesting for sure. All right, let me just flip over to the command center. That was my transition call there. Again, Beyond Meat's printing up pretty high. Nicola's up nearly 7%. I'm kind of scared on this one, actually. I'm afraid this is going to happen here. You're born in 82? Okay. You're older than me then. Born in 87. Twilio. Twilio's just been a quiet one. I don't think I have anything in that son of a gun, do I? Let me see. What is Twilio? I don't think I do. The thing of being an options trader, especially, is that you have like 50 positions on. Twilio. Let's bring that to the main chart. Yeah, Twilio's just, that's a crazy monster there. That's scary looking. Now that's a big monster move right there. Like, that's just super hard to even try to combat this without a doubt. Because that move could be, it's basically plus or minus $25 where we're currently at. Yikes. Gulp. Just like the Wall Street Bets guy. Gulp. Like, shit. Nicola going to 0. We'll see. Oh, you're born. Okay, I see what you're doing. So your birthday was. Oh, you're born August 8. Wait a minute. You're from the future? He's from the future. DMC is from the future. Man. Okay. So the year 8,282. Do we have flying cars by then? Yeah, you must be relaxed if you have everything on the mark. Let's see. Everything's going well. All right, 3 minutes left. I don't know if I want to play Twilio here. That might be a saucy one for me. Let's see if I can get filled in this. Oh shit. Okay, I just sold the 250 put and I bought the 245, and then I sold the 315 call and I bought the 320 call from that for protection. Sorry. Sold the 320 call, bought the 325, sold the 250 and bought the 245, so I'm $5 wide. It's basically an Iron Condor kind of play here. So I can swing that over here. Basically, again, buying this potential movement here. So we're looking at max loss of 375, potential profit around 71%. I'd like to see that. Looking for collecting a premium about $1.25. I actually got filled at. Usually with those options, you can get filled fairly fast if you do it around the increments of $5. Apple has been weird. Yes, it has been weird because it just jumped up like 40 points. I think, again, that momentum of folks are just like, oh, yeah, they're going to give away free money at the end of the month. So, yeah. They're going to give away free money. Free money at the end of the month, right? Make Apple stop being weird. Well, tell them to stop making so much money. What's your calls printing? What are you talking about, Chris? For Square? We got about, 30 seconds left So let's go to the dashboard, my friends. So this is the command center, sound motion. So this is the command center. We're going to be looking at some of the stocks that are reporting earnings today after the close. Of course, we got the big 6 on there. A couple other ones we can kind of flip through as they come out and see how that overall positions and things kind of play out. Again, huge ones are going to be Beyond Meat, Disney, BYND, Twilio, NKLA. Oh, there's the bell. Wasn't able. Is anyone playing Zillow? I never got filled in Zillow. I don't think they like me over there in that options pit. Zillow folks do not like me. Interesting. Man, S&P 500 is, whew, that's a strong one. All right. So now, this is where the fun begins. My credit card never works on Square. I don't even know they had a credit card. All right. All right, boys and girls. Let's just have some fun here. We'll see how this overall plays out. We can kind of look at here. We're going to have the news tab here. So what happens is the folks at the market, you'll see a countdown basically at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blah, 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 blah. The news hits. Everything just goes and goes up, down, left, right. Sometimes it makes a circle. It's just a grand old time. So this is the time I'm going to eat my second, or my third actually, muffin because I'm a fat boy. A big boy, as I like to call myself. But let's go ahead and have some fun here and looking at some of these charts here. Start seeing on how this overall trades. So again, this is on 30-minute time frames. So the 1-minute chart really just gives me a headache. 5-minute charts as well, 15 minutes as well. So 30 minutes kind of gives the overall perception of what can happen here. Again, we're looking for those lines to move after these little the white boxes entailing of a report second quarter earnings. Oh my god, that's a lot of reading. Oh, they included pictures. What? Did you guys see that? Did you see that? So they lost operating. This is where I do terrible with these analysis breakdowns. And it looks like someone knew some bull crap here. They included pictures of their factory. They rendered pictures of their factory. Who just saw that? Did someone see that? Or these links here? Looks like it's somewhat unchanged. Even though it has been released, it's still at $39, $40. So, well, NKLA's not crashing down like everyone thought, right? Bummer, bummer, bummer. I literally saw that load in super weird. So let me pull that. Where does that take me? Probably to like download something inappropriate. Probably some inappropriate material from there. Oh, I have to sign in for that. I don't want to sign into that. I literally saw pictures. You guys saw pictures on this, right? Give it some time to kind of let this digest. They might, honestly, knowing some companies, or they're trying to sometimes, I want to say particular manipulate, it's a wrong word to say, but kind of play out on how this overall looks like. Where did I see that pictures at? I swear I saw pictures. I like to see pictures. Did everyone else see that? Photography says 1,000 words. A photo says 1,000. Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, let's see how that plays out. Looks like what unchanged here. Activision's kind of moving here. I don't see anything here on the news tab. Did they post something leak on Twitter again or something? I'm not seeing anything for Beyond Meat yet reporting out for earnings. Activision's kind of up to like 87.50 here after hours. WYND, again, also a company that we're looking at for here to kind of see how this trades. But WYND's up actually a little bit after kind of some movement here. Disney's another big one that we're looking for. Chris, if you're talking about purple mattress, I have a video coming out in like an hour or two that's going to be talking about Purple Mattress. When is it? When do they have earnings? Sometime in the mid of August, I believe, if I remember right. Okay, now it's kind of coming down a little bit. Here's now it's down to $37-ish. Again, closed around 39. Now it's down about $2. So, about 5% after hours. So nothing too substantial. But again, we got to wait for the earnings call to happen and things like that. Kelly D, thanks for coming, my friend. Never too late to join the party, my friend. Did you bring a snack, though? If anyone thinks that Nikola's going to be heading to $50 first or is going to hit to $25 first, slam that like button. Looks like WYND just reported, or something just happened on WYND. That's crazy. That had a huge downtick. Wow. Disney is printing lower. Not something we kind of suspected here. Printing substantially lower to around 114. Again, we're looking for potentially the $110, $110 price as a whole, but I'm not seeing. Okay, here it goes. Walt Disney just reports third quarter earnings, 9 months earnings of financials. Blah 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 blah. June 27th loss in earnings of compared to 1% interest income. Despite the ongoing challenge of the pandemic, we're continuing to build an incredible success on Disney Plus. We have grown our company's direct-to-consumer business. Bob, whatever his name is, Walt Disney Company, my global reach of the full portfolio direct-to-consumers now exceeds 100 million paid. Holy moly. They have 100 million paid subscribers, a significant milestone. That is fantastic. So that's, again, I think Netflix has like almost 200 million. That's why this stock price is not going to $90, is because I believe that overall look at the Disney Plus subscriptions. Nikola's down to $35. Hit a like button if you wanted to hit 34. So I don't know if you guys knew this. I have magical powers. So the more often you hit the like button, or you subscribe, or you become a member within the Dyslexic Investor Club, the further down Nikola goes. So just an FYI on that. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, WYND reported here as well. Adjusted loss. Again, it's after hours trading, so anything can happen the next couple of days or even tomorrow. Not saying this is going to be completely just crashing the market with Disney's news, but we can kind of see some movement going forth with Disney on potentially some buying opportunities. Again, we talked about that $120 price target being a strong overhead resistance for it, and clearly folks aren't ready to support and see that this can potentially grow, because again, there's just too much potentially downside still in Disney. I think the Baby Yoda stuff should be coming out soon. From what I've read, then folks that are familiar with the matter, a lot of the stuff was already shot. They just need to cut it down and edit some things out. So that could be coming before. The Marvel series sounds pretty fantastic, though. Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, we'll look at Fastly in a second. We're just looking at some earnings. Disney's kind of making a comeback because, again, I think people are really digesting, like, holy moly, they got 100 million subscribers. That's a lot. Nothing from Beyond yet here. Activision. Okay, Activision just came out, so we see that countdown here. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can we get the time? I'm not seeing. Let's see. Okay, I'm sorry. I was scrolling the wrong way like an imbecile. Looking like it's around $88. So that's initially what we're kind of somewhat, I won't say projected, but a lot of folks were looking for around $90. We were looking for $90 around the 2618. That again, earnings a lot of things can happen from now until tomorrow, even on the earnings call. So we can easily see this potentially up to 90. We see this down all the way to 81. Again, we still have to have the conference call with the CEO and those things like that. Yes, the Baby Yoda stuff is the Mandalorian. Yeah. Holy moly, we got someone's buying the dip here for Nikola here. Twilio, again, I think with Twilio, the overall movement into the quarter overall, so we can kind of look here on a stronger daily side. That movement into the overall earnings has just been too strong, and that's usually what my concern is. It's just too much movement into the earnings. It just really just kind of shook it out, and it really needs to beat on super strong numbers, even if they created XYZ amount of growth. It really just needed to perform at a higher level that is honestly just not physically possible for them to withhold or stand up to. It's kind of been like a yawning kind of earnings here. There's nothing except Disney's trying to fight back here. It really looks like. Oh, okay. It reports 50 point. What did I read about 100 million? Okay, that makes more sense. 57.5 million Disney Plus paid subscribers as of the 27th. What did I read about the 100 million? Did I misread that? I didn't read that. The global reach of our fall portfolio of direct-to-consumer services now exceeds... Oh, I don't know. What does he mean by 100% grades for cybers? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I don't understand that. See, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about. So with earnings, they can say, like, yeah, we have the full portfolio that are direct-to-consumer services. Now we have 100 million subscribers. Okay, does that mean Disney Plus? What does that mean? Da da da. Oh, Beyond Meat just kind of went to a little poopy movement here. What's going on there? Coming down to around 135, kind of bouncing around. I think this is kind of a preemptive into the earnings announcements. That again, it could be Hulu Plus, ESPN Plus. Again, I wish they just were more direct here. That's why I just can't stand earnings reports and listening to salespeople talk about numbers. That's why Nikola kind of is a thorn on my side. WYND is definitely down to $170 or $71, $70 there. Beyond Meat still waiting for the full earnings to come out here. They're seeing some movement here. Basically, those are a pretty large drop. Basically, nearly $7 there. Again, potential in the move. Disney's trying to climb higher here. It's actually printing positive now from where it closed, so that's kind of good. Yeah, jargon talk. Like I can't stand it. Can he put your whole YouTube money on Nikola? First of all, I'm not making much money from YouTube. If I put my whole portfolio, my wife would kill me on Nikola. But we'll see. I'm not usually a big shorter like that. Yeah, WYND's not doing too shabby here. Let me look at WYND. So they're trading around 70. Did we have some direction? Yeah. We had a potential price target here around $68 if we can get down to that level for that. And Nikola's really kind of fighting back here. Twilio's down maybe, $13? We can go back to like a 30-minute time frame here. Again, we're looking for support around the 264 level. Sorry, not 264. I was looking at the wrong chart. Go back to the daily. Around the 255, it can come down to, and that trend will still be intact if you're looking at a technical analysis way. I could even buy like many shares of the amount of the YouTube has paid me. Stay down, mouse. Oh, you're short in Disney? My man. Look, okay, Beyond Meat. Now Beyond Meat has kind of come back from the dead. Like, again, I still haven't seen anything come out here on the earnings report here. but it's looking like it wants to print higher. Basically got down to 135, and now it's rocketing up to 145. So a nice turnaround of about $10. Yeah, again, this is the wild, wild west of the overall movement of the after hours trading stuff. Oh yeah, let's look at Upwork, my friend. What the hell are they doing over there? Oh, yikes. Is it, again, I'm not sure why it's negative here. Why are they saying the Disney report coming out again here? This is what I don't understand. Is my time zone set up here differently? Oh, you just want to see the mouse dip? Okay. Looks like poor old Upwork here kind of got hit here. Traded down to about $15 here. Slightly seeing some life in it, coming around $16 here. Again, closed at $17.50 for some overall look at that. Still nothing from Beyond Meat here. Still waiting on those folks. NKLA, okay. Hit those likes, guys. Come on. Hit those likes. We got to bring NKLA a little bit lower to around $33. I like to see NKLA around $33. So hit those likes. Come on, come on, come on. Yeah, too much hype. Exactly. You said it, my friend. It's just the overall perception of how people look at things. The stock market, guess what? It's still humans trading the market. So guess what? With humans, it comes emotions. With emotions, you get huge sways up and down in movement because we're human. That's what happens. You get emotions. And that's why I love my technical analysis. Okay, Disney. We might see that 120, boys. All right, let's might see that 120 for Disney. It's printing higher. Again, that 120 price target was the 200 EMA on the daily chart. So we can go here on the daily side, kind of zoom in here a little bit. We're looking for, again, that 200, maybe it wasn't the 200. It was the previous, the trend here was kind of failing here at the 200 where basically the parabolic SAR was. So, again, trading at 120 right now, so that's a great little move there. Fantastic for Disney if you own the mouse. NKLA, we're not getting enough likes to bring that lower, boys. Beyond Meat, still nothing to report there. They might be coming around or maybe 420, 425 to report their earnings. Twilio is kind of making a comeback here. They kind of reported lower, came down all the way to 271, 270. Now making a comeback to around 275. So yeah, roulette, exactly. Kelly D's got it. Just roll those dice, place your bets. We'll see how it goes. All right, so let's get 4 more likes here, and we can get it up to maybe get it down to $33 here for NKLA. Well, there's a lot of pressure. We're placing stones on top of its head, and it's bringing it lower. Yeah, it looks like okay. It looks like it finally came out for Activision, and again, just remember. The movement that you see the first 25-30 minutes, don't bet your life on it, because again, anything can happen. We can get some more positive numbers once the CEO and the overall board talk. Anything, you can make a comeback. Just give it a little bit longer time, because again, right now the algorithms are going in and just literally cutting it in half. They're literally taking that PDF that they read through, and it's just going through so fast and just trying to figure out and pull certain numbers out until you get an explanation or a look at some potentially the way the CEO looks at it. It's basically just jargon, the way we look at it. DMC8282, I like you too, my friend. Thank you. Again, with the overall play here with that movement, we can see it all the way down even to like $82 to $81 on Activision to really have this trend still hold. If we look here, let me just zoom out to the daily side. again, we're seeing some crazy movement still in Beyond Meat. Again, this is what we're talking about. It's the wild west show. So with Beyond Meat, it can come down to like the $81 price target to still be somewhat positive in the sense of, okay, guys, we broke the 31 likes. We are seeing that price in NKLA still fall. So fantastic. Okay, there's NKLA. There, I'm sorry. There's Beyond Meat just reports. Yikes! That's a drop. Again, let those algorithms digest. Let them read those PDFs, and we'll start seeing some more active prices once it comes out. So now we can go back to basically look at here the overall movement in Activision Blizzard. Of course, now the algorithms have kind of digested it a little bit. We'll see on how that plays out in the next couple minutes. But that being said, it's gonna be you got to be super mindful of that. See, it's coming back. See, just you got to have faith. Got to have faith. What's that song from? Someone help me there. NKLA, boys. NKLA down to $34. $34. I needed around 25 though. Yikes. That IV is super high though. Let's see here. Anything else popping off? What else was reporting today after the close? I can't remember. Paycom was another one. Or yeah, is it Paycom? Yeah, Paycom. So yeah, they didn't report too well as well. We're seeing that kind of go off here around the 270 level. Potentially, we're looking for some support around 273. Again, still in after-hours trading. Kind of a wild west show. We'll see how that plays out in a little bit into 8 o'clock. Thank you guys. Continue hitting that like and consider subscribing to get that NKLA lower, boys and girls. Disney's holding well there. It's almost at one. Yeah, look at this, boys and girls. I always say girls because there's like 4 or 5% of my YouTube viewers are women or females. So maybe it could be a male identifying as a female. I don't know. I'm not gonna judge. Johnny Bravo, what's up, my friend? Alright, so Beyond Meat's digesting stuff. Sales, 113.3 million beat. Basically, they beat nearly by almost 20% there. That's great. May have some earnings. So basically, if you don't know the strategy, what Beyond Meat's currently trying to do, they're trying to keep their price lower. We'll see on how that plays out. I bought puts on next. Hey, as I said, I'm a closet bear. If I smell blood or closet shark, or I'm a closet bear. But when I smell some blood or an opportunity to short, those claws come out, and I like to swipe down. It looks like everything's somewhat flat here. Disney's the only one that's really been performing well to the long side. Paycom is not too great. Is there any other stock that I missed that is significant that reported after the close today? Again, we do have a lot of things coming out tomorrow morning as well, so be mindful. We have Moderna, CVS, Wayfair, Fiverr, Regeneron, Wendy's. That's damn, I should have played Wendy's. They got some good French fries at Wendy's. Alright, you guys not liking my video enough, so NKLA's coming back. Those poor NKLA fans. I haven't really met. Actually, I have met a lot of Nikola fans on my stuff, but basically saying how stupid I am on commenting on how if Nikola's gonna fail or things like that. I'm just like, hold on, but it's an opinion, my friend. Whatever. Hey Ken, hope you're doing well. Thank you, my friend, for joining. Did you see NVAX getting clapped hard after hours? I don't know. Is that a vaccine play? What do you say, NVAX? Yeah, that's not cool. It's announces positive day one coronavirus said. That sounds good to me, right? It just says it had positive results. Novak said Tuesday its experimental virus vaccine included positive immune response and was greatly well tolerated in human adults in the first human study of the shot. 2 weeks after taking the second dose, most vaccinated subjects had high levels of so-called antibodies, which are immune system, blah, 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 blah. So that's weird that it's dropping. Again, this is why I can't stand the pharmaceutical business. The not being a fan of the pharmaceutical business. Everything I just read, that first 3 or 4 paragraphs, were positive. Okay, 100% of all the folks who took the shot was just fantastic. It was performing very well. They created antibodies to the virus. Fantastic. But now it's dropping. Like it could be a certain spin on it. I don't know. Like this is what. Maybe I just don't understand. I just don't understand it. Pharmaceutical companies. I used to trade. When I used to give you a quick story time, I used to day trade a lot. I kind of got away from day trading because again, it literally just drove me crazy. And I was a farmer bro. I would read all the reports. I would anticipate earnings, or anticipate trials and things like that. And it's literally. I think that actually the casino is actually a better play than playing pharmaceutical companies. If you're just betting on a trial, it really is. I have nothing to say. I feel bad for that. All right, you guys got any more stories, or I'm sorry, any more stocks here? You love story time. Buy the hype, yeah. Buy the hype, sell the news, right, or whatever they say. Any stocks that you guys want to look at or anything like that? Again, if you guys are interested in joining the Dyslexic Investor Club, that is in the join button there as well. So just you can join that. We'll have some extra extracurricular stuff for folks who want to get a little bit more of my voice in their ears. Dude, again, pharmaceutical companies, worst. Can someone look up what's Wendy's ticker, please? Yeah, let's look at Apple real fast since I have that up, and then we'll go back to MCHP there for you, Johnny Bravo. Apple, of course, the story of the week with Microsoft, basically, this thing has just been skyrocketing higher, going to, I think, absolutely ridiculous levels. The key indicator here for me is going to be if it can hit the RSI on the weekly side, which it looks like it hasn't covered red yet, but I think it already kind of has. So around the 440, 450-ish level, I'm going to call a short-term top, because this is just absolutely ridiculous how far this has come up and basically just been performing to that level. Thank you, my friends. Johnny Bravo. Okay, we'll look at Wendy's in a second here. Thank you for grabbing that ticker for me, folks. So 450 is going to be the initial short-term overhead projection here for a potential ceiling. But with Apple, this is, if you're in it, fantastic. I would be potentially taking some off the table. You could see another run into the, so you can kind of see here on the chart that 4-to-1 split here announced is going to be coming out on the end of August. Again, you're not going to get free money, okay? Everyone pay attention. Stop playing solitaire on your computer. Stop pretending you're doing whatever. You're not going to get free money with Apple on the end of August. Okay, I said it. Okay, Johnny Bravo said MCHP. This one's interesting. I kind of like this one. Kind of similar in a very tight trading box, as we like to put it. I like to put things in boxes, like donuts, cookies, cereal, pasta. Everything comes in a box. Now this is kind of just trading sideways, really looking to kind of break above that 110 level to the upside. The squeeze is indicating it wants to do that. The earnings is coming out the 4th. It looks like it already had earnings, so it's looking at, and it didn't do very well. So let me go into a smaller time frame to kind of look at this. Yeah, look at this. Look at that. I didn't even know, Johnny, that it had that trade. Look at this. It hit the lower end of my box. Am I magical, Johnny Bravo? Look at that. That hit my lower term of the box. So this is, yikers. That's scary. Really hitting that low part. Basically, I was going to say where that parabolic SAR is to kind of show some support there. But with a large down move like that, potentially, again, after hours trading, anything can happen. Things can go left, right, up, down, right, center, twirly twirls, and just do make no sense. It's basically the upside down world. It's the going into a black hole. There's no rules there. That being said, looking at that particular movement, we're seeing, again, just trading in this box with earnings already on the horizon. If it can start breaking below this box, we're going to be basically looking for that 200 EMA there. Can you look at JD? Oh no, AMD as well. Someone said, what was that? Kelly D, how do you getting the weekly earnings graph from Earnings Whisper? Oh, just their Twitter account. The Twitter, just search Earnings Whisper on Twitter. They post it every Sunday night or Monday, whatever. AMD, yes, AMD was also a monstrous uproar today. Whew, this is I don't like to brag or showboat, but I am up like 500-600% on my AMD calls. So that has been a great trade. Looking again, I didn't think it's going to hit 95 in the short to intermediate. I didn't think it. I thought it's going to just take a break here around $80 basically. But this thing has just been taking off. I sold a little bit into the close just to be on the safe side. That being said, this thing has just been a crazy performer here. Really running up here on a lot of movement here, on a lot of hype, I believe. My only fear is that this really can't continue and start looking for a potential leveling off here. Because again, same here. Anything can happen though in the market, so this can continue going higher, really break through that RSI here on the weekly side. So I like to look at AMD on the weekly chart because again, I'm much longer term in this because of the options that I had were way out until next year of basically those time frames there. That being said, we're looking for potential, looking at the 2618 here for the next overhead resistance. Is that going to happen anytime soon? I'm not sure, but with this kind of movement, and again, it's been super strong. Let's look at JD. So we're going to go through these pretty fast here, real fast. We're going to cover these up so I can go take a walk because my fat butt needs to go take a walk and a quick jog. With JD, did I miss? Looks as like questionable earnings coming out on the 13th of August. Looking pretty strong here. The 5, 8, 21, and 34 and 50 are nicely stacked here on the moving averages. Potentially looking for a higher movement. We do see the parabolic SAR switched. We see a squeeze in place, potentially looking to break here above that 65 to potentially test that $70 price range. Downside support, you're really seeing it here around the 62, 61 price target there. Let's do Wendy's. So Wendy's reports tomorrow. Didn't be able to get in my trades. Yeah, this one's kind of been strange here. This is a nice steady Eddie, looking again to potentially touch the $24 price target to kind of get to that all-time high there on the weekly side, on the daily side. Yeah, this looks like just a steady Eddie. Just been holding that 5 and 8 moving average, just continue grinding higher. So great looking thing there. Let's see. BYND. Let's go back to the graph here. Yeah, Beyond Meat's kind of coming down here a little bit here. We're looking for that support basically around 130 potentially in NVIDIA. I was going to say Activision Blizzard's somewhat flat here where it's kind of did that. Nicholas kind of coming back from the dead. Twilio's kind of hovering around potentially what we suspected here. Disney kind of hovering around basically where the price were kind of closed at, so that's whatever. And this is kind of making a comeback here. AMD is probably going to 100. We'll see. I would love for it to go to 100. Let's see. Tesla. Someone said Tesla. Let's look at Tesla real fast. So Tesla, again, another long-term hold for myself for long-term portfolio. It's been hugging that 5 and 8 exponential moving average for some time. Again, we're looking here on the weekly chart, a weekly chart that goes back 3 years. So it's been, again, it has run up quite a bit. Tesla, I think it's going to be somewhat of a consolidation period here for a little bit. We're seeing that on the chart here, really just kind of consolidating here and just trading sideways. If it can hold the 21, even the 34, and just continue just kind of holding sideways, we can see a nice movement. AD, we just looked at Beyond Meat, so Beyond Meat did have an earnings report, yes. As we talked about, it's trading around 132. We're looking for it to hold potentially 130. If it can't hold 130, we're going to be looking for support around 115. Come on, Tesla 1000. No, we don't want Tesla 1000. Get the hell out of here. Or basically what your name says, get GTFO out of here. Yeah, Tesla 1000, that'd be a tough one. There's no signs of that happening right now. We really need to see, if you want Tesla 1000, that 5 and 8 really need to cross through the 21, and all these moving averages need to start curling to the south side. And they can basically start curling down lower and lower and lower to see on how that overall plays out. But we need to see a lot of drastic movements. And again, to get $1,000, it needs to, something drastic needs to happen. Like their cars. Oh, actually, all the Model Ys we just created have a huge flaw, and if you hit the windshield wiper button and the emergency light button, and you hit the brakes 3 times and the car blows up, that would be a problem. I would love to buy up some more of those shares as well. Papa Eli can make it happen. Yeah, Papa John's I was just looking at the earnings calendar. Papa John's reports earnings on Thursday morning. Yeah, I would like to load up around some lower Tesla as well. Yeah, we can look at Upwork, Johnny. We kind of covered that a little bit. With this one, again, trading lower to around $15. We talked about this for some potential support around this, the 50 percentile move from the previous swing high to low here. Actually on the weekly side, so we did all the way at when it was basically their first IPO quarter again. So the way I trade IPOs and newer stuff is I normally wait 2 or 3 quarters after they report and then potentially buy in. Because again, you can see this was not a great looking stock in the beginning. Really was trending lower substantially, going from that $25 basically at the beginning of 19 all the way down within the beginning of 2020, coming down all the way to $5. Basically losing a lot of its value, now kind of turning things around and now printing higher. We talked about a lot of support here, overhead resistance around 1740, 1750. We've seen it failed here strong multiple times here, and then here potentially now closing, trading around 1570. So we're looking for that 50% retracement to hold here. So it's going to be around $15 for that to hold there, my friend. Etsy's tomorrow. It is, isn't it? We did a Modernum, so that's again coming out. Oh, I just spelled that wrong. Is it MRNA? Why is there W keeps on coming in there? Am I thinking of Wayfair? RNA. So with this one, it's a coin flip. I don't want to play the coin flip. We're looking, if this movement can go, for the negative side, we're looking for some support basically around 67, 68. To the upside, we can potentially looking for some overhead pressure around 84 up to all the way to 90. Kelly D, you want to look at Etsy? Yeah, Etsy. We'll see how. When did they report? Let's see. Where's my reporting calendar? Etsy's tomorrow after the close. Okay. Again, I'm afraid that this run-up has already kind of taken the earnings move out of it, and now just kind of just trading sideways, potentially showing some support around 120 to even to 115 for downward support. Upward pressure, the overhead ceiling resistance is going to be around 145. So this was really much of a coin flip. This is a new card. It's a pandemic. Everything's kind of different. The normal is no longer normal, and it's just different, and everyone's algorithms and overall basically projections are going to be complete change. So Etsy's, they're selling a lot of stuff here on their site for sure. I've checked it out before. It looks pretty nice on a lot of stuff they have that, but looks really strong to the upside. But again, I want it to go higher as well because I'm an optimist, but has it run up already too much to earnings? Maybe. Looking for support around basically 120. Derek C. Mike. Hey, Anthony. What's up, my friend? Any reasons you think why Disney or Activision haven't really moved after the earnings beat? I think it's because of the guidance. I don't know about Activision. That's your job, honestly, to look at the fundamentals. On the charting side, I think it's just because it has run up too much already pre-earnings. It's literally just too much. That movement, just the... What is this? The 30th? What was that? No, today's Tuesday. So just since Thursday of last week, we're looking at a move of nearly 10% since that move. So that's again substantially amount, 10% move in basically 4 days. That is basically, that's what I'm kind of talking about. Etsy has already probably made the move pre the earnings announcements. Did you play Wayfair? Yes, I did play Wayfair. I did some kind of Iron Condor in there, I believe. Derek, HubSpot, Hubs, please. And of course, it didn't type. HubSpot, of course, a great tool for a lot of businesses. When do they report? Earnings after market, so tomorrow. They don't have weekly. Yeah. So the thing is, it's hard to tell you what the earnings move could be because they don't have weeklies. Again, 17 days away is not going to give you an accurate representation. Potentially like an $11 to $12 move, potentially even for the 15. The only one with this is because this hasn't really run up into earnings, so it's kind of a maybe this could see what happens kind of scenario. So with this one, we're going to do. Are you long term this, or are you just going to be more short to intermediate term? So the previous swing high to low, looking some support here, kind of has been hovering around the 21. So support here around like the 228 to 229. Let's just call it 230 to be politically correct. Downward support's really going to come in toward that 50 simple moving averages, which is that red line to the downside. If that trend wants to hold to the upside pressure, we're going to be looking at the previous high at 243, and then potentially to 253 or 254 if you want to be pretty precise on that as well. I can't wait for 5G though. It's really just going to change everything. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've been streaming for almost 2 hours. I'm going to go again. The sun has just cleared. The rain has stopped here. So the hurricane storm has somewhat passed us here in Virginia. Greatly appreciate everyone coming out. Again, hope you guys learned something today. Again, please hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Definitely check out the Discord down below. We also have the YouTube membership if you want to be joining that for some live streams, member-only content, and things like that. Again, guys, this is Ken from the Dyslexic Investor, and I'll catch you guys on the next live stream coming out tomorrow for earnings. Tomorrow, we're going to be looking at... Actually, here, Kelly D, weren't you asking for this? I just pulled this up. Let me ping you, Kelly D. That's what I'm looking at here. Did it not ping? There it goes. Again, earnings tomorrow. We have on the morning bell, before the bell, we have Moderna, CVS, Wayfair. And then after the close, which is going to have another live stream for that, we're going to be looking for at Square, ROKU, Fastly, Etsy, Zynga, Western Digital, and all these other companies I don't know about. I do like Sonos. I love their speakers. I have one of those at home. Guys, thank you so much again for coming out. I really do appreciate the love and support on the channel. Again, guys, I have a new video dropping probably in an hour from now, looking at the purple stuff, purple mattress stock. All right, guys, again, this is the final outro. Catch you guys on the flip side. Peace!